this time in the workshop it's that reel-to-reel player again. Last time I replaced a rotten crystal, fixed the tacho sensor again, then had a record channel blow up. And after fixing that, we found that channel 3 had no record bias. Because of this chip, that one in there. But I didn't have the right one, but now I have. The 748C175. And this one's made by HLF, which is Shenzhen Hongleifer Electronics. And I'm glad they still make them, but they're not big on putting data sheets out there. So I'll get on and desolder it all. And we'll see how good this chip is. I'll just give myself a little bit more room, pull this card out, see if I desoldered it properly. Yes. Oh well, out with the old, in with the new. Problem with new chips is their legs are always splayed apart, so just put them in this little tool, close them up a bit, and it certainly helps get the chips back in. Now just solder these 16 pins. There we go. Slide channel 2 card back in. A bit of fiddly fit these. You've got to rattle them around to make them seat properly. And now channel 1. There we go. Let's put that back into position. So we'll try that out. Let's see if we still got 150 kHz bias clock going on. There's Q. Q bar, yes, right, channel 3. Yes. Looking good. Channel 2. And channel 1. All good. Although, I'm going to say the amplitude is a bit low. Not much over 4 volts. However, it's only driving the gates of these N-channel enhancement MOSFETs. Anything over 2 volts is going to turn these on. So back to the front panel, we'll have a look at the inputs, channels 3 and 4. And I'm going to change the frequency back to 1 kHz because the last recording was 2 kHz. It's going to get confusing. Just zoom the horizontal out a little bit. There we go. So set channels 3 and 4 to record. And press record and play. Well, we are at least. Getting recording on channel 3 now. It's not the smoothest output I've seen, however, that's probably the tape. It's quite old. In theory, playing it back should give us the exact same thing. And it is. I'm very tempted to record something further up the tape. Let's fast forward a bit. That'll do. We'll reset that and go again with the recording. And to my mind, that looks more stable. Just have to be aware of dodgy tape. We can also see there's something on channels 1 and 2 already. So we'll play that back. So check the levels with the input signal. Slightly down. Not by much though. Let's just get to these pots again. Before I go too much further, I want to calibrate what I can on this. Now this is an NAB calibrated machine, or at least it should be, which means it's calibrated to +4 dBu, which equates to 1.736 volts peak on this machine. So I'm going to start with channels 1 and 2. If I can get the plugs out. So turn on channels 1 and 2, we'll have it calibrated on the input mode. They don't quite match, do they? So we go to the monitor socket, channel 1. So we'll go to the measure functions. We don't want that. This is all time based. Peak to peak. That'll do. I'm actually looking for 3.47 volts, so I'm going to move this a bit to get it in the screen. It's going to be quite a bit higher. There's channel 1 at the top here. Just wind that up a bit. That's about it. Channel 2, same thing, miles out. Swap these cables over. Now I'm going to go to channel 3. Now this is channel 4. There we go. Now interestingly, VU meters are showing plus 4 dB, which is right, that is what's going in. However, the service manual tells you to feed a 1 kHz sine wave in of plus 4 dBu, which is 1.23 volts RMS for NAB machines, which we have. Then we should adjust the VU meters to 0. Well, the adjustment is behind here. This is potentiometer RA1. Adjust it. Oh. It won't go any lower. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be set up for a NAB standard. We'll check the jumper settings on the playback amplifiers. If the jumpers are at the back, that's plus 4 dB. And yes, they both are. I think I'll come back to that one. It might not be so important. I want to check the bias waveform after we change that chip. We have got a lower amplitude. I'll turn all these down so it records nothing. I just want silence on the tape. Well, pin 4 is the raise head, that's the top pin here. This one we got 42 volts, and it's a nice shaped sine wave as well. Good. This channel, yep, very similar. Channel 3, okay, and channel 4. Oh, a bit stronger, 50 volts. But still, good shaped sine waves. Then we go on to pin 6. This is the erase head. Well, that's off the scope. So I'll knock that back, times 10 probe, so it's going to look smaller by factor 10. Well, it's saying 17 volts. Wow, does that be like 170 volts? But still, good shape. Same here, channel 2. Yeah, and finally channel 1. Yeah, pretty good. Which is a good job, so I'd have to make extendables. The adjustments are right at the back of these cards. The most important thing, I think, is that the recording and the input match each other, come out at the same level. So we've still got channels 3 and 4 connected. So I'll just set this to 0 dB, or according to the meter. It doesn't really matter. The point is that we get matching input and reproduction. So we'll record again. Get ready on this potentiometer for channel 3. Look at reproduce looks like. Oh, it's crashed. We need to get that up there. There's like nothing coming on. Let's look at channel 4. Yeah, channel 3 is nowhere near the original. Channel 4's not terrible, it is less than I'd like. But yeah, that's a bigger problem. I wonder if it's any of these other adjustments. That pot looks a bit wonky actually. Oh! We've got a broken potentiometer. It's suffered from the abuse of being moved around so much. So does that mean I can adjust that? Well, if anything, it's slightly too high. Pretty good. That channel 4 though. Yeah, that's maxed out, that is. We haven't got any pot wobbling around here, have we? No. So I'm going to adjust the playback amp on channel 4. Get that up a bit. Oh, that's better. How's that compare? Very close. Bit of a bodge, I know. It'll work for me. Now back to channels 1 and 2. And the outputs, of course. These grids are a lot easier. Adjust channels 1 and 2 in the same way. Then record. Reproduce. Miles out. So channel 1 first. We'll try the record gain. What's that do for us? Does a bit. Channel 2. I can get the screwdriver in. Oh. Channel 2, very low. Check we haven't got any more trouble with the pots. No, don't appear to have. Oh, we have got the same problem. Another dodgy one. Good to know. That's channels 2 and 3. Let's go for the channel gain. Channel 1, can we get it up there? Or nearly. No, channel 2. Not very well at all. I'll check these boards out again. Yeah, channel 2 has got a problem, and I see it here. This pot gets knocked every time I pull the board out or push it back in. I think I'm using it as a thumb rest. I think it's broke this pot. Yeah, same on channel 3. And of course this is the bias control pot, so yeah, it's quite important. Soon unsolved it, mind you. And I think it'll come out quite easily. Oh yeah, this has a wobbly leg. Channel 3 as well. Yeah, these are definitely broken. Well, I've got new potentiometers for these. They're the wrong colour, mind you, but they'll work. If I can get the pins to line up. That is a big if. There we go. And just solder them in. Hopefully that's the end of the trouble. Just snip the legs off. That's channel 2 done, and the same for channel 3. Done the same damage twice, I have. Just slide these back into place. Hope I don't break the pot again. See if we have better luck now. Let's monitor the input again and record. Let's just go into reproduce, see what's going on, compare that against the input. Okay, we need a little bit more gain here. It's about right. Channel 2 is also up high. Let's try the bias. I've messed with the bias, haven't I? Bring it back the other way. Compare that to the input again. Slightly too much. That's not bad, leaving that as it is. Change back to inputs 3 and 4. These arc type connectors, unlike these. Let's check our input again and record. So channel 3 is definitely a bit on the low side. I'll adjust this bias. All the wrong way. Try and max it out. Yeah, about there. Yeah, that's the input. It's not miles out. Maybe knock that green one down a little bit. I think the dancing around is actually the tape. It's pretty old. Well, that's not too bad at all. Let's get that back to the start. Switch this panel down. There's something I want to check out. I want to check out the memory backup battery on this, because every time I turn it off it seems to lose its tape position, especially if I've left it off for a while. It's a bit of an unusual design today. It's actually a large coin cell, but it's sort of flanged. Let's see what voltage is on here. Oh, 0.76 volts. That doesn't look very good. If I turn the power back on, we'll see how it charges up. And yeah, it's charging gradually. Yeah, I'll turn it back off again. It's very quickly losing it. Yeah, this battery is toast. This does look familiar. I'm sure I've got some. Now I've got these in stock. It says everything the same on there, apart from it's got the letter N on the end. And it's the wrong way round. The wrong polarity. Looks like I'm going to have to buy one after all. We're shopping for CR2477 as the original coin cell said. You know, you can buy them, but they don't look the same. The N version here, this is the one with the flange, but you see, it's the wrong polarity. Yeah, I just don't know. I can just keep on scrolling and scrolling. Certainly doesn't look like these boots, does it? Yeah, wrong polarity. It's got legs on it. Drawing a blank. Yeah, they're all the same. I think I'm going to have to do something with the socket. I don't know if I can flip it round or something. It certainly does look like I could flip it over. I won't know till I get it out. Looks like I'm going to take all this metal shielding off. And I've been sent a housewarming present from Ron Vincent, one of my patrons. And it's a cordless screwdriver, this one by WorkPro. And it's got the output shaft coming out the top, just how I like them. Thanks, Ron. So we'll put in a long Phillips head number 2 bit. I don't know if I need to release these ribbon cable clamps yet. We'll find out. And up she comes. And yes, we do need to undo those clamps. Or at least slacken them. I can't help but notice this has got 19/38 nab written everywhere. This is the tape speed, and this machine, as we saw, is 7.5 or 15 inches per second. It's like it's been slightly modified. That should allow us to move this metal shielding out of the way a bit more. Yeah, something like that. I think I've got to pull these knobs off as well. Otherwise I don't suppose I'll be able to get the PCB up. Oh dear, that doesn't feel right. However, that bottom switch is on a little daughter board, so I think we can just disconnect that. Maybe it doesn't need to come out at all. But I've also just noticed these two little wooden blocks. I don't know if these are factory or not. It's not your normal factory material, but it's rather neatly done. I wonder if it pulls out. Yeah. I haven't got quite so much clearance for this one. But it's still out. It appears to be two different pieces of wood altogether. It's not just one stick that's been chopped up. Very strange. I'll be sure to put them back. So I can get a corner lifted on here. Trouble is, it's a well-made board. It's not that bendy. There's a lot of plastic tabs around here. Have to pry them all up one at a time. Bit of a puzzle really, getting these apart. There we go. It'd probably help if I undid all the screws. I can see 3 dotted about. But that tells me that this board needs to come out as well. Better look at that knob again. Because it is tight. Oh, because it's held in with a little grub screw. Well, that's easier. So it might rise up a bit more easily now. Once you spot all these plastic clips. There we are. We're free. And now we can see underneath the battery holder, see that the pins are actually sort of symmetrical. Looks like it will spin round. I'm going to need a bigger nozzle for those posts. Put that little O-ring back, or O-ring seal. Hopefully it doesn't just suck to the middle of this dowel. It seems to work okay. Let's turn it round. Is it that easy? I think it is. Just solder it back in. Chips in the way. Can't quite get my angle right. There we go. And the other issue I wanted to look at on this board was the VU meters. Remember, I couldn't adjust them to 0 dB. At least that's how I understand the NAB standard requires. The calibration was done with this pot here, RA1. This pot's got a value of 1K. We can just make it out stamped on the top of it there. This potentiometer provides a reference voltage to the A to D converter. We can just do a quick analysis of what the voltage range is. So if we quickly analyse this circuit, we've got 3 resistors. We've got 1K connected to ground at the top of there. Then we have the 1K potentiometer. And then a 6K8 resistor connected to the minus 15 volt rail. The total resistance is 8,800 ohms. So the current flowing through here is minus 15 volts divided by 8,800 ohms, which is 1.7 milliamps. So maximum voltage is 17 milliamps times 1000 ohms, just the top resistor. That gives us minus 1.7 volts. So if you then look at the potentiometer set the other way, that'd be our minimum voltage. We have our 17 milliamps again, this time times 2000 ohms. That gives us minus 3.4 volts. So this is our adjustment range, which we want to increase. So if we have a look at what potentiometers I've got in the range of 1 kilo ohms, so we've got that actually looks the right style and what fits. Oh, this is pretty much like it. What is that? This is 1K again, that's no good. Now what's this one? The right style. Ah, 2K. That'll probably work. So if we change this for 2K, then this changes to 9,800 ohms. So now our current's going to change. We've got minus 15 volts, this time divided by 9,800 ohms gives us 1.5 milliamps. So now this slightly reduced current, We now got minus 1.5 milliamps times 1000 ohms, gives us minus 1.5 volts. And if we factor in the full 2 kilo ohms of potentiometer, we now have 3000 ohms, giving us a minimum voltage of 4.5 volts, which opens up our adjustment quite nicely, both ways as well. So just desolder this. I know that brown line looks like it's been cut through the track, but it hasn't. I did check. Let's pull that out. And put the 2K one in. I do notice this is a taller potentiometer, standing off the board a bit. I think it'll be alright, there's room. However, although it's flipping upside down, these rubber membrane contacts have sort of come adrift. Yeah, I need to locate those a bit better. Any others that are loose, like that one, just line them up with these little plastic pegs. And that one looks like it slips. Yes, it has. Pop that along there. Find these little dowels, there they are. Okay, let's just place this down back into its housing. Should just all clip in. It's a lot quicker to put in than it was to take out. Let's put these screws in. Just the 3 of them. And the factory fitted would, if it was factory original, I still don't know. But, like I said, it's going in. Oh. Let's not forget this plug, I think it went here. Bring this steel box back over. Let's pop these screws back in. Let's not forget the cable clamps, both sides. On these pivots got these 2 little spring washers, they're sort of dome shaped, one opposes the other. So now I can put my new backwards battery in this way. So let's check out the voltage on here. 3.2 volts, excellent. I turn this on, let's check the voltage again. 3.298, oh, it's growing. Charging it up nicely. I think I've got it in the right way. So I've got to put these knobs on, I'm going to turn them all down to 0 so I can orientate them. And the volume knob. Powering on. Let's check these inputs again. Calibrated. We've got no sound. There we go. Let's lift this back up. See if I can calibrate the meters. Let's have a little play with this. This respond. So the code tracks, this is the time. Well, that's not the right time. It's actually about 5:30 as I film this. Let's do the date. So it is the 10th of October. It's not 1988 either. Wonder if we can actually hear this C track. Let's knock these others off. Oh yes. So there we go, we can see the frequency of that green trace dancing all over the place. That's the code. We'll see if it remembers all that when we turn the power back on. Well, it all appears to be working, so it's now time to put it back together. Which also requires me to unload this tape. Now I found out that you're not supposed to tape these on here. I'm too young to know any better. And I will need the power back on. Well, just remember the date and time. I'll put this back off and rewind. You can see all these tape crumbs around here. The tape's falling apart. The problem with vintage stuff. But I'm sure I'll use it again. So, test leads out. Let's put the other screws back in the heatsink. And then back on with this shield. Put the shiny side on the outside. So we can get a screw in. There it goes. Quite long. I think I'll whiz them in with Ron's screwdriver. That's better. Just got to tip this on its side, so I've got to take the feet off. Screw these handles back in. I don't want those flopping around whilst I'm trying to wrestle it back into its case. And on with the case. I'm going to try and walk the machine into the case. It's rather heavy, not exactly portable. So I can just tip it in the last little bit. There we go. And it came with these rack mounting ears, they called? Oh, whatever, big brackets. Come out. And back on with the feet. Now for this bezel, if that's what you call it. Oh, why won't it go in? Oh, it's supposed to go over that power switch. I've got to take the wings off, the feet off, the case off. Fun. To be fair, it's been a few months since I took it apart. I still lived in the old house. It was back in July. No wonder I forgot. Actually, that screw, it's fell out. I thought it took a while to screw in, to be fair. Although I don't see anything wrong with the thread, look, this little thing. It's threading in okay. Strange. Anyway, about this bezel. It slides over this switch, over its little ears. Then the power switch goes in. Just line it up. It's a push fit. There we go. Lovely. We'll pretend that didn't happen. It turns out that this screw's too short at the front, it's a longer screw on the other one. So I found a longer screw. I'm just going to screw it in. I doubt that'll fall out. So now I've got it on its back. You can see all the debris from the tape that's been running on there. Let's clean that off again, I think. So I don't know if you're considering running a reel-to-reel player, but just be aware there are no new tapes. At least none that I'm aware of. So I'll be doing this type of work quite frequently. Interestingly, there's no sign of this on the heads. I think it's mainly when it's just fast forwarding and rewinding the tape. You can see it all over this guide here. This part that I thought ought to rotate really. But from what I can see, and what I've heard of others, they don't rotate. But I know this rubber pinch roller is going to come off, otherwise I won't get the cover on. It can go back on now. Oh, look at that, they've got foil shielding inside a metal shield. That's thorough. The foil's probably new metal, better at keeping the magnetic fields away. And then we've got the tape cutter to go on here. Then we've got this reel adapter. There we go, the REVOX C274, but it definitely looks better with the reels on. Apparently that's how it's supposed to lace it up. Oh, I didn't know. I mean, they put sticky tape on this one. People leading me astray. That looks better. I like that. Well, I have to say, I've been working on this thing for so long, it started to grow on me. What music's on this tape? I think the tape's in backwards. It sounds weird, doesn't it? Might swap the tape over. Bit of a faff. Let's try it the other way around. It's no different, is it? No, it sounds exactly the same to me. That's rather interesting. It isn't. Anything to do with the way I repaired it, mind you. Now, this thing is coming up for sale soon. It'll be on eBay, check it out. It's not me selling it, and there's no warranty. Catch you next time. I think I did it the right way round before. Oh well, this will give YouTube's content ID system a bit of a challenge, hey?